Welcome to Cross Country Senior Night. We're so glad that you could come and help us celebrate our seniors. We are finishing up our season at Region October 22nd, so we would like to give our support to our senior. Our first senior of the night is Ella Grace Cothran. She is escorted by her parents, Quentin and Kim Cothran. Ella has been a varsity runner for the past 4 years and a member of the 2021 and 2022 county champion teams. She's also a member of the 2021 region runner-up team and 6th place 2021 state team. Ella wants to pursue a career in the film industry. Her favorite memory of cross country was when there was a fugitive on the loose in Hickory Flat and one of her teammates ended up running with him on accident. It was so crazy. The advice that she would like to leave for future runners is to watch out for wild boars. Our first senior of the night, our next senior is Stella Waits. She is escorted by her parents, Charles and Allison Waits. Stella has also been a varsity runner for all 4 years and a member of the 2021 and 2022 county champion teams. She's also a member of the 2021 region runner-up team and 6th place 2021 state team. She holds the current school record for the 5K with a time of 19:28. Stella wants to go to college to study political science and continue her running career. Her favorite memory was winning county by working together as a team. Her advice to future runners is if you see a creepy van, run faster. Our next senior is Nathan Cook. He is escorted by his parents, Barry and Kara Cook. Nathan has been a member of the cross-country team for the past 4 years. After high school, he plans to attend college to study marine biology. His favorite memory is when he got yelled at by all the coaches for knocking on the middle school window. The advice that he would leave future cross-country runners is run fast. Our next senior is Brock Freeman. He is escorted by his parents, Chris and Melissa Freeman. Brock has run cross-country on varsity all 4 years and was a member of the 2021 region champion team and 4th place state team. After high school, Brock plans to attend college to study business. His favorite memory was winning the 7-6A region championships for the first time in 10 years. The advice that he would like to leave is embrace the struggle and show up to practice because it pays off. Our next senior is Brady Harmon. He is escorted by his mom, Whitney Schamberger, dad, John Harmon, and girlfriend, Bailey McBride. He has been a member of the cross-country team for 3 years. He plans to attend college to study medicine. His favorite memory was early morning Dunkin' Donut runs with teammates after morning practices. His advice is to set at least 4 alarms for morning practice so you're not late. Our next senior is Nikki Kendall. He's escorted by his parents, John and Jenny Kendall. Nikki has been a member of the team for 3 years. After high school, he plans to attend Kennesaw State or UGA. His favorite memory is cramming a lot of people in a car to go to Bojangles, and the car broke down and they had to figure out how to get back to school. His advice for future runners is to wake up on time for morning practice and also have fun. Our next 2 seniors are Jake and Will Labasi. They are escorted by their parents, Duke and Allison Labasi. Jake Labasi has been a varsity runner for 4 years and a member of the 2021 region champion team and 4th place state team. After high school, he plans to attend college to study business. His favorite memory from the cross-country seasons is when the seniors shaved his head for state with a face razor. His advice to future runners is to get a Garmin watch and have fun with the sport. Our next senior, Will Labasi, has run cross-country for the past 3 years. After high school, he plans to attend college to study cybersecurity. Will's favorite memory was accidentally going down White Trail and seeing wild boars. The advice he wants to leave future cross-country runners is the porta potty becomes your best friend. Our next senior, Brett Lowry, is escorted by his parents, Chris and Pat Lowry. Brett has run cross-country for the past 3 years and was a member of the 2021 region and state team. After high school, Brett plans to attend college and study nuclear engineering. His favorite memory was going to state as an alternate and hanging out with the team. The advice he would leave future cross-country runners is to go to long practices. They really do make a difference. Our next senior is Braniff Mahoney. He's escorted by his dad, Jason Mahoney. Braniff was a new member to the team this year and ran varsity all season. He plans to attend Kennesaw State to study architecture. His favorite cross-country memory was finishing the race. The advice he would leave future runners is go down White Trail and feed the animals. Our next senior is Christian Roush. He is escorted by his parents, Michael and Billy Roush. Christian has run for the past 4 years and was a member of the 2021 region and state teams. After high school, Christian plans to attend college to study electrical engineering. His favorite memory was gambling their candy playing Stumble Guys in the hotel at state last year. His advice is don't go down or really up the green trail. Our next senior, Clint Schuler, is escorted by his parents, Mark and Aaron Schuler. Clint has been a member of the cross-country team for the past 4 years and a member of the 2021 varsity region and state teams. After high school, Clint plans on going to college and traveling. His favorite memory in cross-country was wearing his banana shirt to all the events. The advice that he would leave future cross-country runners is to go on adventures on long mileage days. Our next 2 seniors are Clay and Jack Tucker. They are escorted by their parents, Dave and Kathy Tucker. Clay Tucker has run varsity for the past 3 years and was a member of the 2021 Region Championship team and 4th place state team. After high school, he plans to attend college to study mechanical engineering. His favorite memory is all the hard work paying off in the 2021 season and being the Region 7 6A region champs. The advice that he would leave for future XC runners is to run fast. Jack Tucker ran on the varsity team for the past 3 years and was a member of the 2021 Region Championship team and 4th place state team. He plans to study mechanical engineering as well. Favorite memory of cross country was running in the freezing cold at state and getting on the podium as a team for the first time in history of Sequoyah cross country. The advice that he would leave for younger cross-country runners is run as a team and for each other. Our next senior is Nathan Vallis. He is escorted by his parents, Antonio and Enriqueta Vallis. Nathan has run cross-country for the past 4 years on our varsity team and was a member of the 2021 Region Championship team and 4th place state team. After high school, he plans to attend college for communications. His favorite memory was running the green trail with the upperclassmen and getting lost and having to climb a huge hill they kept slipping down. The advice he would leave for future cross-country runners is it's a team sport and get involved in all the team events. Our next senior is Brian Dirk. He has run cross-country all 4 years and he was the 2021 captain. After high school, Brian plans on going to college to study business. His favorite cross-country memory is being forced to run to Bojangles with the upperclassmen at a morning practice. The advice he wants to leave future runners is don't care as much and have fun. Peyton Harper is our final senior. She is being escorted by her sister, Reese Harper. Peyton has been a member of the cross-country team for 3 years and a member of the 2021 and 2022 Varsity Girls County Championship teams. She was also on the 2021 Region runner-up team. Peyton will be heading to Liberty University to play lacrosse after high school and pursue a major in biology. The advice she would like to leave is run over the bricks, and the coaches know what they're talking. Thank you for supporting our seniors.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it, doing better than anybody you ever seen. Do it, screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power.
On behalf of the Cherokee County Board of Education, Dr. Brian Hightower, Superintendent of Schools, Principal Mr. Robert Van Alstyne, and Athletic Director Mr. Peter Voida, welcome to tonight's game. The GHSA and its member schools have made a commitment to promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at all GHSA-sanctioned events. Profanity, degrading remarks, and intimidating actions directed at officials or competitors will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the event site. Spectators are not allowed to enter the competition area during warm-ups or while the contest is being conducted. Thank you for your cooperation in the promotion of good sportsmanship at today's event. To ensure the safety of our students, staff, and guests, CCSD staff reserves the right to deny access to this event or to remove persons. This school is a drug-free environment, therefore alcoholic beverages and illegal substances are prohibited from our campus. Additionally, the use of tobacco and vape devices on this campus are prohibited. CCSD staff reserves the right to inspect all packages, oversized purses, or containers that may contain contraband to ensure
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Flat at Skip-Hope Stadium. Located at Sequoyah High School for tonight's Region Showdown versus the Creekview Grizzlies. Please help us thank this season's 2022 Chief Program sponsors. Gold Level Tide Electric, all about health. Canton Turbine and Pest Control. Silver Level Cycle Sanitation and Recycling. Tex Spring. Hancock Clay. Rockin' Taco. Ron Raymond State Farm. Bronze Level Standard Martin Homes. Bird Family Insurance. Ameris Bank. Physical of Hickory Flat. Chick-fil-A of Hickory Flat. Bruce Concrete. Community Level. Cobb EMC. Maya Pediatric Dentistry. NTNet. Icebox Cryotherapy. Mandalay Realty. Life Insurance. Liberty Tax of Woodstock. Friday Health Plan. Imagine Pool and Landscaping. Sponsoring our concession stand this year is Credit Union of Georgia. Please help us thank this season's 2022 Feed a Chief program sponsors. We'd like to thank Old Country Place, tonight's Feed a Chief sponsor, as well as Bojangles Hickory Flat for feeding the Chiefs breakfast. Feed a Chief sponsors feed the players, trainers, managers, and coaching staff before each game. The Feed a Chief meal sponsorship gives local restaurants the opportunity to sponsor the Chiefs football program the best way they know how, with food. Other Feed a Chief sponsors this year are Sidelines Grill, It's Postier, the TDX Company, All About Health, Bojangles at Hickory Flat, Chick-fil-A of Hickory Flat, Whiskey Massive Bar Realty, Giant Pizza, Domino's Pizza, the Roman, the other one's going to get dark soon too, Camden's Fresh Grill, and Target. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise for the raising of the colors and national Marching onto the field is the Air Force Junior ROTC color guard.
Put the view on the ROTC.
Carrying the American flag is Cadet Maureen Goodrich. Carrying the Georgia flag is Cadet Nathan Caldwell. Protecting the flags as rifle bearers are Cadet Jason Jamarion and Cadet Naomi Harden. It is customary to remove your hat and place your right hand over your heart during the playing of the national anthem. Thank you for your participation and patriotism. On behalf of the Cherokee County Board of Education, Dr. Brian Hightower, Superintendent of Schools, Principal Mr. Robert Van Alstyne, Athletic Director Mr. Peter
Voida and Head Coach James Teeter, welcome to tonight's game. Please stand for the singing of our national anthem, performed by the Sequoyah Chorus.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets Vallis gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave,
Ladies and gentlemen, the Sequoyah Chorus.
Our sponsor of tonight's game is Old Country Place. Old Country Place has a smoker located beside the home concession stand. If you're hungry, go get you some barbecue. As the captains make their way to midfield, the officials for tonight's game are referee Todd Downs, umpire Ashton Wilkerson, linesman Dante Atkinson, line judge L.T. Thompson, side judge Cedric Patterson, field judge Keith Patterson, back judge Robert Hampton, electronic clock operator Boyd Morley, and play clock operator Zach Allen. Creekview has won the toss and decided to defer. Chiefs will be receiving the kickoff.
A very good matchup tonight, Max.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows in Cherokee County there are rivalries. I mean, there's Cherokee and there's Etowah and Woodstock. But Sequoyah and Creekview, you know when you hear those two schools, this rivalry is intense, heated, and everything that comes along with those two. This is going to be a good game, especially these two teams, 3-4, have the same record. They're looking to go over 500.
Yeah, Max, you're absolutely right. We talk so much about how a lot of these Cherokee County teams have like mini rivalries in between them, but this is the big one for Sequoyah and Creekview. The big rivalry, obviously, it all started back in 2008 when Creekview was, or that's the first year they played each other, yes, but yeah. Creekview, as the story goes, Creekview was started and they took a bunch of students away from Sequoyah, moving them down a couple divisions, but now they're both at the same one. It's been like that for a few years. Sequoyah has not won one of these matchups since 2017 when they won by 36 points. Creekview has kind of owned Sequoyah. This is the 15th all-time meeting. Creekview is 11-3 all-time against Sequoyah.
Yeah, but I mean, this Sequoyah team, we have seen their defense before that Rome game where they had a bunch of players sick. They only let up 4 touchdowns. This defense is stocked and loaded, and this Creekview offense has Austin Guest. They have an athletic runner at quarterback, and it's going to be super interesting to see how the Chiefs defense can stop that scramble, because we know Cantrell Davis is going to lock down the secondary no matter what. It's going to be really Austin Guest scrambling versus the Chiefs D-line.
Yeah, most definitely. And both teams actually have had really similar seasons. So they both lost their first 3 games and then won their next 3 games, and then they both lost last week. So again, both teams coming in here 3-4, 2-1 in region play, and there is a 3-way tie right now in the region for second place. Rome is in first at 3-0 in the region, but Creekview, Sequoyah, and River Ridge are all 2-1 in region play. So this is a big matchup, not only because it's a rivalry game, but because there's so much at stake in region standings. And Creekview lost to River Ridge last week in overtime, and we know last time we saw you guys on Chiefs TV, as Cameron Massey makes that reception, we saw Sequoyah beat River Ridge. So it's definitely a good matchup here tonight.
So Sequoyah gets the ball first. We're going to see Colby Martin at the helm once again, I believe. We know this wing T offense that Coach Teeter likes to run.
Yeah, Colby Martin, as long as the entire offensive line among the many players missing from last week's game against Rome. Sequoyah lost that game 52-0. We're never really able to get into it. They had a lot of guys, a lot of their starters were out.
Yeah.
But, you know, Rome is also a very, very good team. They are first in the region for a reason, as Martin has that one under center, and he gets a snap. It's a play action. He hands that one off to Chimanda, who's swallowed up before he can do anything with it. by number 38 there. Jack Gibson with the tackle, the junior fullback.
Second down and 8 for the Chiefs.
So 11:31 left to go in this first quarter. 2nd and 8 for Sequoyah, as Martin lines up with no receivers to either side, but he's got a couple slot receivers. And he'll keep that one handed off to Hancock, who tries that left side and is unable to get anywhere before he's tackled.
And that was number 4 junior strong safety Lee Brock. He is a beast when it comes to reading the runs and reading where the ball is going. His eyes from that secondary are amazing, and as you could tell that play, Jackson Hancock had nowhere to go.
Lee Brock is 3rd on Creekview for tackles a game. He's got 6.7. That's what he averages.
Conti out for receiver on the close side of the field.
So 3rd and 13 for Sequoyah. That one's handed off up that right side, but no forward progress made. It might be a couple yards.
And one thing that's really going to impact this game, I think, for Sequoyah is, I mean, it's a rivalry game. Creekview brought a student section. It is packed over there on the Creekview side. I think you might be able to see on the broadcast at some points. Creekview has a full bleacher section of a whiteout student section.
Yeah, not just the student section, too. They got a lot of parents and family and friends there as well, as Sequoyah's going to punt this one off. Cruz gets that, and the kick is off and good. And Creekview gets that one, but he's quickly swallowed up by Tyler Ogundale. Nice tackle from him.
Yeah, Cole Sackman had nowhere to go.
Ogundale is 2nd on Sequoyah for tackles a game at 5.8, tied with Rowan Steele. And now, Max, we'll see this Creekview Grizzlies offense. What are some key players we're going to be looking at here?
I mean, Austin Guest is kind of the star of the show. The sophomore quarterback has 181 yards a game through the air, but he is their second leading rusher with about 58 yards per game, and he has 5 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, he is a dynamic, electric player, and really the Chiefs D-line needs to watch out for him.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. As Guest lines up with a receiver to his right, couple guys to either side. He hands that one off up the middle to Isaac Hubert, the leading rusher at 81.7 yards per game. He's also 6'3", 230 senior, so.
I was just looking at that, 6'3", 230. That guy is a unit.
21 is one to watch out for, especially if you're the Sequoyah defense.
Yeah, I mean, Ty Morris and Brady Curl have some work cut out for them with Isaac Hubert when they have him for all game.
So 2nd and 8 for Creekview now, 9:27 left to go in this game. And Guest is in the pocket now. He's got Jackson Stanley as a slot receiver to his left, and he's going to take that one and throw over, and that catch is almost made by Cole Sackman there. Just out of reach of him. He was trailed by Bretton Darling there.
Yeah, Darling was right there, but I mean, a little bit less than that pass, and Sackman might have been able to get that because Darling was a little bit behind him. A little missed opportunity there for Guest.
So 3rd and 8 for Creekview. Austin gets in the pocket. He's got a receiver to his far right, and that's the only one he does have. And he's going to keep that one, fire over to that right side, and that's Jackson Stanley, who gets a catch in a couple yards afterward, so he's tackled at about that center line. So 1st and 10 for Creekview. We apologize if you're just joining us now. I think we had some problems with the audio, but we should be back in good shortly, if not now. 8:45 left to go. Creekview with a 1st and 10 just inside Sequoyah's territory. And Guest has that one in the pocket. Fires quickly over to Hubert, who runs up that right side and gets a gain of about 4 or 5 before he's brought down at the sideline.
Nice screenplay there by the Grizzlies. Good call by head coach Trevor Williams.
So 2nd and 7 for Creekview. Guest has Stanley as a receiver to his left. He's set up in the pocket formation. And this is a play fake to Hubert, who runs it, but doesn't get anywhere before he's tackled.
Tackle made by number 44, Cole Jordan.
Cole Jordan with the tackle on that one.
Yeah, that line did not come to play around that play.
.7:30 left to go in this first quarter. Creekview still their first possession of the game. They're 3rd and 7 inside the Sequoyah territory after a nice run or pass from Guest to Stanley. And Guest gets it again, looks to that left side, fires over, and the catch is nearly made. A diving effort by Lee Brock, but he's unable to come up with it. So Max, already a couple times where we've seen Guest just barely overthrow his receivers.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a sophomore. He still has a couple years left to honestly develop on the accuracy, but still, as a sophomore quarterback, he is an exceptional fit for this Creekview offense. And I was watching that play in the backfield. I'm really interested in Hubert and his size now that I saw he's 6'3", 230, and it was passing play right there, and Hubert was blocking, and he just pancaked the Chief. Man, no one is seeming to stop Hubert right now.
So Creekview gets that one, and it's punted off to Hancock. Falls a little short of him and bounces out of bounds before he can, oh no, it doesn't bounce out of bounds, stays in bounds, and rolls to about the 1 yard line. Wow.
Wow.
Fantastic punt by Creekview there.
That was an exceptional punt.
And that's Lucas Hubert, so brother of Isaac Hubert, the junior kicker. A very nice punt by him.
So now the Chiefs are going to have to work in the shadow of their own goalpost. Man.
Well said, Max. They're at, I think, the 2 yard line about. Colby Martin takes that one and hands it off.
He's about a foot away from that goal line. Man. Chiefs need to have some sort of spark or a safety could be in the future. Because this Creekview front 7 is really pushing.
They want to get on the board first,
yeah.
And it looks like it was a loss of 1. So if it wasn't 1st and 10 at the 1, now I guess it's 2nd and 11 at the 1. So Colby Martin sets up under center. He's got a receiver to his left in Cameron Massey, and he dives forward just to get some yardage to get out of the danger zone. So 5:59 left to go in this game, or first quarter, excuse me. And Martin looks like it did get a few yards, so still 3rd and 9.
And I'm kind of interested to see if Teeter's going to try to go for this. I mean, this is very sketchy field position, so easily the safety could happen. Oh, Creekview, little mistake in the
yeah, looks like
there.
their defense was confused. And Martin gets that one, hands it off to Salazar, I believe that is, but he's tripped up before he can get past the 1st down marker.
Wow, he's close, much closer than I expected. 4th and 1. So 2 straight 3 and outs for the Chiefs offense. Creekview kind of holding on momentum right now because, I mean, they didn't do as much as expected on the first drive either, but, I mean, they got a 1st down. So these defenses are really proving how difficult they are to get by.
You're correct, and Daniel Cruz kicks that one off, and he gets it over to the Creekview receiver, Cole Sackman, who catches it inside the Sequoyah territory because of how far back Sequoyah was when they punted. So Creekview's going to have some really solid field positioning here to start their second drive of the game. .445 left to go in this first quarter. 1st and 10 for Creekview at the Sequoyah 40-yard line.
Got 3 Chiefs on the line.
Sets up in the pocket. He's got 2 receivers next to each other, but he's going to hand it off. And Ty Morris quickly gets on him, and he's helped out by Breton Darling and Walker Beck, to name a few.
Well, Hubert, I guess you had a first interaction with Ty Morris.
Still a gain of 1 yard. Ty Moores and Hubert would be matched up pretty solidly.
Yeah.
Moores is 6'3", 222, and Hubert 6'3", 230. So he's going to have Hubert's number for the night, I'm sure.
I mean, he's going to have to, based on how good Hubert is.
That's correct. So Guest gets that one, shovels it off to Hubert, and Breton Darling makes the tackle this time. And you know, Max, while I was researching the game, I was thinking if a key for Sequoyah, if they want to shut down this Creekview offense, is to do it on the rushing game. So Isaac Hubert, 81.7 yards a game, as I said earlier, as well as Austin Guest, their quarterback, at 58.3. After that, the third best receiver or rusher only has 7.6 yards per game. So if they can shut down those 2 guys, they can really put a stop to a big part of Creekview's offense.
Yeah, I mean, and there haven't been many passing plays thus far, so we haven't really had a chance to see Austin Guest scramble and see how the Chiefs defend it anyways.
Yeah, you're correct. So gain of 1 on the a loss of 1 on the last play sets up a 3rd and 10 for Creekview. Still where they started in their first down, and that reception is made by Hayden Reyes. And he'll get the first down for Creekview, so a big 3rd down conversion there.
And he was wide open on that route across the field. I think there was a little miscommunication in the coverage because Jackson Hancock was way behind him, and if I know Jackson Hancock, he is not going to get that far behind without a little misstep in the coverage.
Still nice play call from Creekview, as it gives them fresh 10 yards with 2:55 left to go in this first quarter. Still their second possession of the game. Sequoiah's only had two quick 3 and outs, as Max mentioned earlier. As Guest gets that one in the pocket, hands it immediately off, but a tackle is made almost as quickly by Cole Jordan, 6-foot senior.
And they're starting to get the hang of Hubert in the backfield. They're reading him and reading his eyes really well and where he's going. And one thing I've been noticing, is that honestly, consecutively, these snaps to Guest have been kind of low. They've been kind of low near the ground. Honestly, that could come back to bite them sooner rather than later.
As Guest gets that snap, but the play is blown dead before he can make any play.
And those snaps at that level could be purposeful because Guest is kind of staying in that position as he is going back, but they're kind of dangerously close to the ground.
Yeah, and at the same time, if Sequoyah blitzes and that pressures Guest and he worries, that could lead to a drop snap. So something to look forward to. As we know, Sequoyah's defense is phenomenal at putting on the pressure.
So there was a flag on that play. I believe it was a false start because it was moved back 5 yards. But it was a 5-yard penalty. So on
2nd and 15 for Creekview now. 1:50 left to go in the first quarter. Still no score here in this big region rivalry match. As Guest gets that snap, throws it off, but another incomplete pass. So 3 incomplete passes for Guest so far.
And who else? Cantrell Davis. He is such a physical corner, but he just knows the edge of how the rules for pass interference. He knows how to play cornerback so well, and it is so obvious on how good he is at his position.
So 3rd and 15, this is where Creekview came up big last time, a big 3rd down conversion to Hayden Reyes. Let's see what they do with this one, a little bit farther up the field, but still feeling the effects of the penalty a couple plays earlier. 1:36 left to go. Guest gets that snap. He's looking towards that right side. He rolls out there, but that pass is low and on the ground. So another two incomplete passes in a row brings up 4th and 15 for Creekview.
There was an array of Chiefs blitzing. A gun delay was blitzing, and that was number 44, Cole Jordan, who tipped that ball.
And Max, you got to wonder if maybe the low snaps are having an effect on Guest's arm. Maybe he's just feeling a little rushed because he has to stoop down for the snap, and that's why some of the passes are being just a little off. He's not feeling 100% dialed in right now.
They're going for it on 4th.
4th and 15 with 1:32 left to go in the first quarter. Creekview goes for it.
They're blitzing. Oh, it's a punt.
A short punt.
Out of bounds the 5. Interesting play there.
Yeah, he looked like he was in the pocket and then took a couple steps back, called for the snap, and hit it a little farther out. So 1:23 left to go in the first quarter. Sequoyah coming up with their 3rd possession of the game. Still far back in their position, though.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to get too much positive. Yeah, get too much positive yardage here. Yeah, 2 3 and outs like you said earlier. So no first downs for Sequoyah.
I mean, if you're Jack Mine, a score based on how your defense is playing, a score isn't necessary this drive. I think a first down to give the offense some confidence is truly important. It's honestly first priority. Because I think they might have, I don't know if they've had one passing play. And Creekview has truly defended the rushes really well.
So Colby Martin gets a snap, hands it off to Chamanda with a big hit from a Creekview defender there. I believe that was Reed Anderson with the tackle.
But man, whoever it was, he laid the lumber.
It still goes down as a gain for Sequoyah, a gain of 1 for Chamanda. Under a minute left to go now in the first quarter of play. Massey sets up as the receiver to Martin's right side. Martin sets up under center. He hands that one off to Eli Jurgensen, who tries up the middle, but no luck there.
Gain of 1.
3rd and 8 for Sequoyah.
Another interesting circumstance. They're a little bit farther out from their end zone. So, I mean, a 3rd and long, they want to get a first down.
At the very least, give Daniel Cruz some more breathing room for the punt to get it over the half-yard line.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see if they're going to pass here.
Martin's in the pocket. He's got one receiver to his left in Alex Conti.
That's the end of the first.
And they will wait for time to expire. So 12 fresh minutes will be on the clock, and the Chiefs will move down the field to the opposite side for the beginning of the second quarter.
And man, what a first quarter that was. I think honestly that kind of sums up this rivalry. It's hard-mouthed, hard-nosed football where they just go all out on defense, and the offense is honestly trying to catch up right now.
Yeah, nothing comes easy in rivalry games, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think we could, once we see at least one score from either team, we're definitely going to see the offense start to pick up.
Yeah.
I mean, Creekview and Sequoyah combined have 3 of the top 5 rushers in all of Region 6A. And Creekview has 2 of those with Isaac Huber as well as their quarterback. And, again, Max, we haven't really seen Guest have too many opportunities to run, so we haven't seen what he's been able to do when maybe a play doesn't go their way or he has to improvise. And that could be a weapon that Sequoyah or Creekview pulls out when Sequoyah's not expecting it and could get him some big yardage.
Yeah, I mean, Guest has had those passing plays, but they've been short screens, and the ones where he has gone for downfield, he's overthrown them a tiny bit. He hasn't had the need to scramble. His O-line has been playing really well most of the time. I mean, the D-line is not getting to Guest on, the Chiefs D-line is not getting to Guest on those passing plays. Their pass defense with Hubert back there blocking as well is honestly really good. They're giving Guest the time for a sophomore quarterback that he needs. But the rushing defense by Sequoyah is what honestly is impressing me the most, because we know how dangerous Hubert is at running back, and Ty Moores, Walker Beck, all the pressure and the blitz that Buddy is applying to the Creekview rushing game is honestly really impressive.
Yeah, and we saw Guest throw 2 incomplete passes at the end of the last drive to end it, but we've also seen him throw 2 more, so 4 incomplete passes total. So him and his receivers maybe just need to get dialed in, but that could certainly prove useful for Creekview if that can happen. As we send you back down to the field for the beginning of the second quarter, 3rd and 8, as Martin gets the snap and hands that one off to Hancock, I believe.
Gain of 3. Not enough for the first down.
Fourth and 5 for Sequoyah now.
So another 3 and out. But these past 2 possessions have been, as you said, Will, kind of very dangerous territory where if they did turn the ball over maybe on the passing play or did get a sack, it could very well end up in a quick score for Creekview.
As Cruz gets that one off, the reception is made by Lee Brock, and Creekview sets up once again inside Sequoiah's 50-yard line. And Max, if Sequoyah is going to keep giving Creekview this field positioning, if Creekview can get things started offensively, that could prove really dangerous for Sequoyah because Creekview will not have a hard time pouring on the points.
Yeah, I mean, that last drive, they had a decent amount of momentum. It's just that one single false start penalty, the first of the game, pushed them back to a 2nd and 15, and they just couldn't recover. I mean, get rid of that penalty in that drive, and they could have easily scored.
You're absolutely correct, Max. So 1st and 10 for Creekview now at Sequoiah's 37. And Hubert gets on that one, and he just barrels through a Sequoyah defender. He just shouldered by him.
He finally decided it was time to show the Chiefs the full power of Isaac Hubert.
That was pretty impressive. And he gets the first down.
Yeah.
So 11 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Creekview showing signs of getting their offense going now.
Well, Isaac Hubert getting the offense going. A one-man machine back there in the backfield.
Not stopping for any Chiefs defender. As Austin Guest gets the snap, and he's going to keep that when he rolls out to his left. He's looking towards that left side, and a reception is made by Griffin Latimer. And he runs out of bounds after a gain of 4 or 5 yards.
Good tackle there by Brian Carbone, the sophomore. So just outside the red zone. This would be Creekview's most successful drive if they can get this first down.
2nd and 6 for the Grizzlies. Still scoreless in this one. 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Guest has 3 receivers to that left side, but he chooses to hand this one off to Hubert, who is stopped after a gain of a couple yards by Cameron Walker.
Yeah, Walker and Ogundele were there to stop him. I mean, it took both of them, because Hubert is a beast. But a very crucial 3rd and about 3 or 4, I believe. They want to keep this drive alive and finally get some points on the board.
Creekview's 1 for 2 on 3rd down conversions tonight. We'll see what they can do with the 3rd and 4 with 9:15 left to go in this first half. Guest has a couple receivers to either side. He sets up in the pocket. He gets the snap. He looks to that right side. He fires overhead, and it falls short. Nobody from either team really in the vicinity of that one.
Yeah, I mean, Lee Brock was over there, but it was kind of placed at about the H of the end zone, and they were at about the E.
Honestly, Jackson Hancock and Bretton Darling were closer to getting that one than either of the Creekview receivers were.
And I'm guessing they're going to go for it on 4th down here, or maybe another little punt fake play.
4th and 4 for the Grizzlies. 9 minutes left to go. Guest is set up in the pocket.
And timeout, Sequoyah. I mean, I think they understand how big this 4th down is. Teeter wants to recollect the defense, let them calm down for a second, analyze what they're doing, because you can get the first down, and a score could easily put them ahead.
Yeah, you're most definitely right, and they're certainly within striking distance of doing that. A first down would probably give them first and goal, considering the running backs they have. But, I mean, I think it's definitely going to be a run play, if I had to guess. I mean, their passing plays really have not worked out. We saw just another incomplete pass right there. That's 5 on the night for Guest. He just hasn't been dialed into his receivers yet. But I think Isaac Hubert certainly has been dialed in. He's been barreling through Chiefs defenders, although we have seen Ty Moores and Bretton Darling make a couple nice tackles.
Yeah, so I mean, I honestly might depend, A, if Ty Moores is in the game, and B, his placement, and they honestly might just put 2 guys on him to block Ty Moores. Hopefully the rest of the line blocks him, and Isaac Hubert can run for the first down. I don't know if they're going for the field goal. Change of events here. As they're going to try to go up by 3 and break the tie.
And it's up.
It's good.
And it's good. It goes through the upright, so Creekview Grizzlies hop out on top 3-0 with a field goal here in the second quarter, breaking the tie, as Max said. So Sequoyah will get the ball once again, see if they can start putting some things together offensively here.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have a little bit better field position this time. Hopefully that gives them and Jack Mine a little bit more freedom to call passing plays here and there. But the Creekview rush defense right now is all up in Sequoiah's business. They cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, passing plays are doing a great job of remaining on coverage, even though Creekview's been helping them out with really only completing, I think, 1 or 2 passes. Most of them have been incomplete. But still, they've been doing a good job with coverage. But yeah, that Creekview run game has been pretty lethal. And Creekview kicks that one off. And Cameron Massey makes the reception. He's running up that right side. And a pile is made, but there is a flag on the play.
That came from way in the back.
There is a flag on the field.
Oh, wait, no, that was, oh yeah, that was Cameron Massey, sorry. Didn't know if it was Jackson Hancock.
Let's see what the penalty is. Could give Sequoyah their best starting field position of the night. But it won't. It'll push him back. Holding. And that's going to bring him into more familiar starting field position.
It's a block in the back for the Chiefs. 8:51 left to go in this first half.
And look where he's going.
Sequoyah really hasn't been able to get many good looks on offense here.
He gave false start signal and the holding. I don't know if that meant the false start is canceled out, but nonetheless, it's a flag on Sequoyah, and they're going to be pushed back to the 20.
So 1st and 10 for Sequoyah. Martin's in the pocket. Only receiver is Conti to his left. He fakes the handoff. He takes it himself, runs up the middle, gets a few yards before he's brought down. Raymond Simpson and Cole Sackman combined for that tackle. So 2nd and 7 for Sequoyah.
We haven't seen much of Tyler Bell this game. We have seen some Chimanda. We've seen some Hancock.
We really haven't had the opportunity to see so much because they've started within the 10-yard line pretty much every drive. As Martin sets up under center for 2nd and 7. He rolls out to his right, and he's looking for Massey. Massey nearly makes the reception and just tips off of his hands and out of bounds.
And Martin was trying to get him to come back a little bit because that would have been open if him and Massey were on the same page, but just off the fingertips of the senior. So it's a 3rd and 7. They're 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions thus far.
So Creekview on top after a field goal, 3-0 here with 8:11 left to go in the first half. In this big rivalry region matchup we have here at Skip Pope Stadium.
Got 5 Grizzlies blitzing.
Martin is in the pocket. He's got a receiver on either side. He's looking towards that left side. He scrambles a little bit, and throws it to nobody. He was pressured by a couple Creekview defenders, as you said, Max, and just wasn't able to get anything off before he had to get rid of it.
Yeah. I mean, the secondary coverage, these two passing plays have been, for Creekview, pardon me, have been really well. I mean, there was no one open for Colby Martin to throw to.
So passing game not working for either team so far. Running game seems to be where it's at, although Sequoyah, we haven't seen, again, too much of their offense to kind of get a judge of what's going on. As Daniel Cruz gets the kick and boots that one. Very nice kick, runs the Creekview receivers back a little bit, and that one's going to take a favorable bounce for Sequoyah. A very nice punt. And Sequoyah picks that one up at the Creekview 16-yard line. So phenomenal punt from Daniel Cruz, got a nice bounce. So now Creekview with their worst field positioning of the game.
And I think Sequoyah has to take advantage of this. I mean, Creekview just coming off breaking the tie, putting on the first points to take the lead. I mean, Creekview has the confidence right now. They know their offense can get down there. Sequoyah has to put a stop to that.
Also, Creekview's not been afraid to go for it on fourth downs because they've had some good field positioning. Obviously, they faked us out one of the times and went for the field goal instead. As Guest gets that pass, fires over to his left. Oh, it's bobbled from a great tackle by Cameron Walker.
I think he caught that off the tip. I think he got rocked by Walker and still caught it on the way down.
Yeah, it might have, bounced right back into his hand almost. But still only a gain of 1, so 2nd and 9 for the Grizzlies with 7:24 left to go in the first half. Guest is set up on that left side. He hands that one. Oh, he keeps it himself. It's a play fake, and he runs that right side, but is tackled by Cameron Walker and Rowan Steele. So, Max, that's the first time we've seen Austin Guest keep the ball himself and try to do something with his legs.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that was a perfect example. Cameron Walker and Rowan Steele are right there, and Austin Guest still pushed forward. It was 2v1, and he still gained about 3 yards after the first contact. Very impressive from the sophomore.
Yeah, and a gain of 8 for Creekview, so 3rd and 1.
And I mean, that being the one rush we saw from him gaining 8 yards in one rush. I mean, that's an average of 8 yards a rush. So, I mean, that's impressive nonetheless.
3rd and 1 for Creekview now. Only one receiver for Guest. He hands that one off to Hubert. Hubert runs up that middle. He'll get the first down and a couple more. So that'll move the chains for the Grizzlies with 6:13 left to go in the first half.
And the rushes seem to be working for Creekview right now.
First and 10 for Creekview. Guest set up in the pocket. No receiving options for him on this play. He hands that one off to Hubert. Hubert tries that left side. He fights off Cameron Walker for the tackle. There's a flag on the play. He's still going. Bretton Darling finally brings him down.
And I was just looking at the last play. That was a great run by Hubert. I was looking at the end of the last play, and I saw Ty Morris point at the referee, and he was trying to show that someone on the line was holding, and I think Ty Morris just got that call the next play. Yep, it will.
And that's just an experienced defender recognizing a call, and obviously not telling the ref he should call it, but telling him to look out for it.
And it's great, yeah, it's great. It's having a great attitude, too, because you could go up to the ref and just yell at him and try to say, man, you missed this call, but Ty Morris knows how to work it. Ty Morris knows what he's doing on the field. His experience, as you said, Will, he calmly goes up to the referee, says, hey, can you watch this holding? Next play, free 10 yards for Sequoyah.
Yeah, big loss for Creekview on the flag, so first and probably 25 for Creekview as Guest rolls out to the left, fires that one over to Lee Brock, who rumbles ahead but is tackled at the 30-yard line. And that was pretty crucial time to have a flag because Creekview got a huge gain there. Second and 15 for the Grizzlies. 4:56 left to go in this first half. Only 3-0. Creekview's on top after that field goal they had on their last drive. Sequoyah's not been able to put anything together offensively quite yet. Their defense has been doing a good job against this Grizzlies offense, though. As Guest gets that snap, hands it off. No, he keeps it himself once again.
Another gain of about 4 or 5 for Guest. And here comes Ty Morris onto the field for this big third down.
It is a big third down, and they're going to need Ty Morris because most likely they will go to Hubert. Still haven't attempted a passing play since the last incomplete one on the last drive.
That's a really good point.
It's been all running plays.
They've been sticking to the rushes with Guest and Hubert. And I think that kind of shows the adjustments of this Creekview offensive staff. They know and realize that they're having the most success, and they scored in the last drive with their rushes.
3rd and 11 for the Grizzlies. 4 minutes left to go. Guest is set up in the pocket. He rolls over to his right, fires over to his left. That's Hubert, but he's tackled by Walker Beck before he can get anywhere. Very nice tackle by Walker Beck there.
A good play call overall. I mean, the bunches of fake routes, but he went to a short little dump-off route right at the line of scrimmage to Hubert, and Walker Beck said, no, we want that ball back.
He went right for the legs. It was a very nice tackle by him, and Creekview not able to get anywhere. So 0 for 5 now on third down conversions. And Creekview punts that one off. Hancock is the receiver back. He's got to backpedal a little bit, makes the reception. He's going up that left side. He jukes out a receiver, but he's tackled anyway. So 3:03 left to go in the first quarter. Only 3 points on the board. Grizzlies on top after a field goal. Chiefs still with 0, but Max, this could be the drive where we see Sequoyah maybe put things together for the first time. We saw them have some sparks of offense on their last drive with a couple nice running plays, and they're starting off with their best field positioning yet.
Yeah, I mean, and they have plenty of time too. 3 minutes to go on the field and try to score. I mean, if they want to have any momentum going to halftime, their defense is doing great, but their offense needs to get something going.
1st and 10, that's the pass to Conti. Conti goes to that left side. He's tackled, but gets a gain of 7 or 8 yards there.
And what a catch that was.
A one-handed catch for Conti.
I mean, he was good at quarterback, but wide receiver just fits him, his hands.
Using those sticky hands. Second and 2 for Sequoyah. Martin is set up. He's got a receiver to his right in Cameron Massey, but he hands that one off to Jurgensen. Jurgensen gets the first down and a couple more yards, and Sequoyah's at their own logo.
And that's one thing I've seen from Jurgensen a lot this season. When he's kind of like almost like horizontal with the ground, he keeps on chugging, moving his legs, and he picks up another like 2 or 3 yards when everyone thinks he's already down.
And Max, Sequoyah hadn't even started in their attacking 50, and now they're knocking on the doorstep of getting in the attacking 50 for that first time. So 1st and 10 for Sequoyah. Martin rolls out of the pocket. He's going to that right side. He's pressured. He throws it up and out of bounds.
Good idea. I mean, I saw last home game against River Ridge. Colby Martin was getting sacked a couple times in that 4th quarter and 2nd half. And he was going to the sideline. Coaches were kind of just telling him to throw it away. And he was getting sacked, and he was throwing into coverage. And I think he's finally gotten the hang of that, throwing the ball away, not trying to force passes. And getting that in your freshman year is a huge advantage for the next 3 years to come.
Right you are, Max. So 2:01 left to go in the half. Sequoyah knocking on the door offensively. 2nd and 10 for Sequoyah. Martin under center. He pitches that one off to Hancock, who tries that left side, breaks a couple tackles, and is pushed out of bounds before he can get any positive yardage. So it will go down as a loss for Sequoyah.
They're going to need some yards here.
Looks like a loss of 5. So Sequoyah's 0-4 on third down conversions. Neither team has made any third down conversion yet. At least not Sequoyah. So 3rd and 15 for the Chiefs. with 1:43 left to go.
So big third down, 1:25 left on the clock.
Martin is under center. He hands that one off to Hancock. He tries that left side. Hancock trips over Cole Sackman. I believe there's a flag on the play, though. And the call is holding on the Chiefs, so that'll bring them back not the direction they wanted to go.
I think they might. Are they going to deny it? They might accept this, but still that gives Sequoyah another chance at a play. It might be third infinity, but still very interested to see if they do accept it or not. They will.
Looks like a 3rd and 20 for Sequoyah. 1:16 left to go. Creekview still with the only score of the game with a lone field goal on their last drive. Martin lines up under center. He's got Conti to his right. Sequoyah's going to need a big play if they want to get something going. Eli Jurgensen gets the handoff. He runs up that right side. He breaks a couple tackles, but he's tackled from behind by Raymond Simpson before he can really get going. That looked good, though. He got some yardage before he was brought down.
Yeah, he got a lot of yardage. I was honestly impressed by how much room he had, but I think just the Grizzlies had in mind they wanted to prevent that first down.
Not enough for a Sequoyah first down, so it is a Creekview timeout as we bring you inside the booth.
So 1:06 left. I mean, Creekview, they have Austin Guest and those electric receivers, but the passing game has not been as, it hasn't worked as well as it usually does for Creekview. We know the rushing game is really good, but with 1:06 left, they're going to have to get that passing game going if they want to score on their last drive here in the first half.
Yeah, and obviously we know that Sequoyah's offense is run-based, but Creekview really has a pretty balanced offense.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a couple guys in Cal Schubert and Michael Roach who average 40-plus yards a game, even more than that. But we haven't called either of their names because there's been quite a few incomplete passes on the Creekview side of the ball.
And good coverage, like always, by the Sequoyah secondary.
As Cruz gets that, he punts that one off.
Good punt.
Another nice punt for Cruz.
Great punts by both punters tonight. It is just a clinic for these two.
55 seconds left to go as we see Creekview's offense for presumably the last time this quarter.
And I mean, a punt like that makes these 55 seconds even more valuable. Each second counts even more because you have a whole about 90 yards to go if you want to get in the end zone.
Yeah, and both teams very much still in this. It's only 3-0. It's been really quiet offensively, but both teams started off pretty cold, but they've been heating up a little bit, showing some signs of life. Sequoyah was flagged by a couple penalties as Guest keeps that one himself, but Moores pushes him, and he eventually falls to the ground. 46 seconds left and counting for the Grizzlies. It looks like they're trying to put something together here at the very end. 2nd and 9. .28 seconds left to go now. Guest gets the snap. He keeps it himself. He runs up the left side and runs into one of his own players. So no positive or a couple of yards maybe for Creekview. And 5 seconds and counting left. And with that, we will go to halftime, and both teams head into the locker room. So Max, I think I mean, obviously, again, only 3-0, so both teams very much in this. And I think it's possible we could see a little bit of an offensive explosion from either side. We didn't really see the passing side of the game get started from Creekview or Sequoyah. Running game was looking a little bit better, but still pretty much a defensive battle here.
Honestly, I'm kind of anticipating even more of a defensive battle in that second half, to be honest. I mean, the way these defenses are playing, they don't seem like they're stopping anytime soon. I mean, unless both passing offenses find some sort of hole in the half, and both rushing offenses, I don't know, get something going on the blocking schemes, these defenses are playing hard-nosed football, and I don't think they're going to stop. I mean, it's astonishing how well, besides that one 10-yard bulldoze run, how well Sequoyah is stopping Isaac Hubert as their lead rusher. And for the Sequoyah offense, I mean, they just haven't had anything going all night, really. So really the key for them is find something that works.
Yeah, and after Creekview made their last incomplete pass, they haven't even attempted one since then. So they really are not even going to try with they didn't even try with the rest of the half, their passing game. So that could be something they work on in the locker room, maybe come out trying a bit more of those passing plays just to see if they get the feel. But if not, their running game has been serving them pretty well. Sequoiah's has as well. They haven't had as many good chances, but on that last drive, they looked pretty good until they had that penalty. So a lot to talk about for both teams heading into the locker room. We will send you down on the field for the band performance. We'll be back in about 17 minutes or so. We'll be back with a couple minutes left to go before both teams come out of the locker room. So your score going into halftime, Creekview Grizzlies 3, Sequoyah Chiefs 0, and we will see you on the other side of the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Principal Mr. Robert Van Alstyne and Athletic Director Mr. Peter Voida, Sequoyah High School proudly presents the award-winning Sequoyah High School Marching Band of Chiefs. The Band of Chiefs is under the direction of the Director of Bands, Mr. Casey Eubanks. Additional band instructors include Dennis Naughton, Mac Jefferson, JoJo Lee, Daniel Krasner, Bailey Waddell, Elizabeth Chesser, and Scott Jones. The student band leadership includes Hannah Law, Ryan Ellicott, DJ Colonna, Kristen Lawrence, Jack Tucker, Kayla Rutkowski, Clay Tucker, and Matthew Lawman. The percussion captains are Zion Terry and Jador Jen Charles. The color guard captains are Emma Johnson and Caitlin Mitchell. The band captain is Jod Dorjen Charles. Tonight's show is entitled Haunted and features original music by Frank Sullivan. Tonight's show is under the field direction of drum majors Kate Johnson, Maya Tung, and Ethan Sorrell. Drum majors, is your band ready to take the field in halftime performance? You may now take the field.
If you're okay to eat after the game. Yeah, can you help right now or? Oh, no, not until.
The phone. Answer it. Answer it. We're coming for you.
a really good shot. Over
And I mean, even the Creekview River Ridge game was low scoring. It went into overtime, but River Ridge won 21-20, so it was also a pretty relatively low scoring one. I mean, this one's only 3-0, so we might not even see this one get into double digits for either team.
Yeah, I mean, I think low scoring in those games this is a whole different level. A 3-0 halftime. We'll see if the offenses can get revived a little bit.
Yeah, a defensive battle, definitely. But, Max, something we didn't see, or we saw in the first quarter for Creekview, we saw them attempt some passing plays, but after they made their 5th incomplete pass of the first half, then we really didn't see them attempt even any passing plays after that. So we'll see if maybe that's something they talked about in the locker room during halftime and are going to try some more of those, see if those are working for them. I know we talked about this before the break, but their running game is still pretty solid, so they could depend on that. But if they were to get the passing going, it certainly would be a dual threat and be more for Sequoyah defense to handle.
The Chiefs are getting huddled up, and Creekview is still stretching. They've added 2 minutes to the warm-up clock. And one really interesting point is how, I mean, Isaac Hubert was honestly running up the middle for like 10 plus yards consistently. And honestly, that about a span in the second quarter, there was about a moment where he was getting about 10 yards up the gut in one set of downs, pardon me. But ever since then, it kind of has been full-on rush defense attack from both squads.
And Max, changing gears a bit, while we have a little bit of time before this game starts, I'm just going to give you some in-depth matchup history between these two teams. So the first meeting was in the 08-09 season. Sequoyah won that one by 1 point, so it was a rivalry from day one, really. Yeah. And Creekview is 11-3 all-time. This is the 15th meeting. And the biggest margin of victory for Sequoyah was 36 in the 2017-18 season when they won 49-13. Creekview has won by 24 in the past 2 years. That's their biggest margin of victory. And the only shutout coming in 2020 season when Creekview won 24-0. I remember doing that game with Chase. That was one of the first games we broadcasted.
Wow.
And
that must have been kind of a very interesting start to the rivalry for you.
Yes, for Creekview, it's been the same coach the whole time, Coach Trevor Williams. For Sequoyah, Coach Teeter has been there for 14 of the 15 matchups. So not only do the teams have a history, but the coaches have a history as well, and one that's pretty lopsided when it comes to the Grizzlies.
I mean, playing that same coach for 14 years in a row, you have to start forming some kind of tension and bitter, maybe not even bitter, just friendly rivalry between the coaches.
Yeah, I'm sure it's definitely friendly. Obviously, playing together or playing against each other for so many years certainly builds a relationship, at least, if not a friendship.
Yeah.
So not only do these coaches know each other, but the teams know each other. The schools are just down the road from each other. So all the things necessary for a good rivalry are included in this Sequoyah Chiefs and Creekview Grizzlies rivalry.
And the Creekview student section is still riled up. The Grizzlies have the lead, but can Sequoyah get something going in offense?
So Daniel Cruz set to kick off to Creekview, who will receive the second half kickoff as 12 fresh minutes are put on the clock. And a short kick received not by the intended receiver. So 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies.
So we'll see Guest and the Grizzlies come out again. We were talking about how Guest wasn't able to connect with many receivers. It's going to be interesting to see if they start going to the passing game more or stick with that rushing game, which they were going in that second quarter with.
11:54 left to go in this second half of play. Guest keeps that one. He fires over to the left side, and that catch is almost made by Stanley there, number 27. We saw him as an attempted receiver in the first half as well. And Max, that's just what we said. We talked about how Creekview would maybe come out firing, trying some more passing plays, and the first one of the half is a passing play.
And I mean, Cameron Walker on that play, he's known for his strength and how big he can be on the line, but I mean, I didn't know him for that much of a speed, but he was keeping up with that Grizzly right there, and he broke up that pass exceptionally well.
So that brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies, as Guest hands that one off to Hubert, who runs up the middle for a gain of 4 or 5 yards. Tackle made by Breton Darling on that one. Third and 4 for Creekview.
This could be a huge opportunity for a stop for Sequoyah. Force a 3 and out on Creekview's opening drive could honestly fully swing the momentum to their side. Got 2 receivers out on the far side of the field for Creekview. 1 on the close.
3rd and 4 for the Grizzlies. Guest is in the pocket. He hands that one off to Hubert. No, he keeps that one himself. Fires over to the left side. No one is there. It ends up going out of bounds. So 4th and 4. Another failed 3rd down conversion for Creekview.
I couldn't tell if that was an overthrow or just a little bit off. They might have just been throwing it away. But nonetheless, yeah, the Chiefs do get the stop.
It could have even been an underthrow, honestly. There was because there was a receiver on either side of the throw, but yeah, not sure what happened, as the Grizzlies bring out their punting unit, and Hancock goes back for Sequoyah to receive. And the snap is off and the kick is up, and Hancock motions for it, and the fair catch sign is made.
Cantrell Davis getting a little bit physical on the return team. And he gets pulled aside by Coach Jackman, but still, the Chiefs are feeling fired up. They made a 3 and out. They forced a 3 and out for the Grizzlies right there. Now it's the offense's turn to respond.
He's just trying to bring some energy to a game that's been kind of quiet.
Yeah, understandable.
10:46 left to go in the 3rd quarter. First and 10 for Sequoyah. First time we're seeing their offense in this second half. We'll see what has changed since the first half, as Martin gets that snap, hands it off immediately to Chimanda, who powers ahead for a few yards.
Gain of 4 there. Good run.
Brett and Brady were just on the scoreboard.
2nd and 7 for Sequoyah. 10:22 left to go. Kobe Martin sets up under center. And he hands that one off, but a quick tackle is made by number 99 for Creekview.
Big number 99.
Billy Sir, 6'2", 215 senior.
Yeah, I believe that was to Eli Jergus on the handoff, and he had nowhere from the get-go. A loss of 2 on the play, 3rd and 8. They're 0-4 on 3rd down conversion this far.
Third and 8 for Sequoyah. Martin sets up in the pocket. He's got Hancock as a receiver to his right. Conti has one to his left. Picks up the snap off the ground, rolls out to his right. He's looking towards that right side. Avoids a tackle, but is tripped up still. So that's a gain, or a big loss for Sequoyah, which will bring up a 4th and 15.
I mean, it's just hard to balance. But if you're Colby Martin, it's hard to balance in the swing to the offense because, I mean, you're scrambling to the right most of the time, but the receivers are most of the time going to the left, it seems like, at least tonight.
Yeah, it looked like, well, it also looked like the one he was trying to go for was Hancock, who was on the right side, but there was also Conti on the left side, so it's kind of hard to tell which one he was going for, because we've seen him be able to throw across his body as Cruz kicks that one off. And Lee Brock calls for it and makes the fair catch.
So 2 3 and outs back to back for the Grizzlies and the Chiefs to open up this second half.
So 1st and 10 for Creekview now. Their second possession of the game, still 3-0. No one scored yet. .846 left to go in the third quarter. Sophomore quarterback sets up under center. Ty Moore's. Oh, I thought fake handoff there.
I was just as fooled as you are.
That got me hook, line, and sinker. I was very confused. I think it was Marco Siegwald who ended up making the run on that one, and he got a sizable gain of 7 yards there. Yeah, I thought it was given off to Huber right away because Ty Moore's wrapped him up immediately. Second and third now for Creekview, 8:08 left to go. And Guest gets the snap. He looks back in his left, and he fires over, and that falls short of Stanley.
Davis and Cantrell Davis and Darling were in the area. Honestly, just as close to that ball as Stanley was.
Yeah, Sequoyah really has been doing a phenomenal job of the passing coverage.
Yeah.
Obviously, Creekview's only completed 1 or 2 passes, but also Sequoyah's been really close on the incomplete ones. Their pass coverage has really been good, and we saw a great example there of Darling and Davis tracking that one down, and that's not the first time where there's been Sequoyah corners closer than Creekview receivers. 3rd and 4 now for Creekview as Guest rolls out to his right, fires out, and that's intercepted! But he runs out of bounds, so I think it was an incomplete pass.
He dropped it. I think he dropped it right as he caught it. I don't know. Did you see who that was? I might have been Taiwo Gundale.
Yeah, I believe it was Taiwo Gundale.
Had that in his hands. So close. Bobbled it before going out of bounds.
So false alarm on the interception.
Got me excited. But yeah, nonetheless, I mean, a big stop by the Chiefs.
And Creekview with the snap and the punt. That's up and good. Hancock has to backpedal a little bit.
And he'll
just let that one roll out. So 7:38 left to go in the third quarter. Still no score in the second half. Still no score since, I believe, the first quarter, since the Grizzlies put up that field goal. Seems like so long ago that anybody scored.
Yeah. I mean, progress by the Grizzlies there, though, for the second half. They got a first down that drive. And, I mean, Chiefs haven't gotten a first down this whole game. So, I mean, they have something up on the Chiefs right now. Finally time to see the Chiefs offense again. They really need to get something going.
And Kobe Martin is lined up under center. He's got no receiver option. And it's 1st and 10. He'll hand that one off to Jackson Hancock, who breaks multiple tackles up that left side. He's still going, and he gets run out of bounds.
Multiple juke moves in a row. Broke about 34 tackles. That alone shows the skill of Jackson Hancock. One play. He turns that loss into about a 6-yard gain.
Hancock is 5th in receiving yards for Sequoyah, so if they need a passing option, which so far they haven't shown that yet tonight, Sequoyah's gone even less passing than Creekview has. As it's 2nd and 5 for Sequoyah with 7:28 left to go in the third quarter. Martin hands that one off to Chimanda, who runs up the middle for it. And he'll get the first down. So that'll move the chains for Sequoyah.
I think that's probably their first down. One of their first downs in the second half, at least.
I think that is their first one. I know they had one earlier in the first half when after that they were plagued by that penalty that brought it back on that
that's right.
3rd and long. But yeah, so the first down for Sequoyah.
In the second half.
So hopefully that gives them some momentum to get a drive going and get some plays strung together here. So 7 minutes left to go as Martin hands that one off.
Run by number 33, Eli Jurgensen, stopped at the line. Bring up second down for the Chiefs.
Run by Jurgensen there for a gain of about 1 or 2.
He's on the field. 77, that's Jimmy. 6.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 for Sequoyah. Still no score. Cameron Massey, a receiving option for Martin, lined up on that right side. Sequoyah's lined up on the left hash. Martin hands that one off to Jurgensen. Jurgensen makes a juke move. He's got some green room, and he runs up that right side. He'll get the first down and a couple more yards. So nice run by Jurgensen there.
Beautiful blocking, a little beautiful counter move by Jurgensen. Beautifully drawn up play.
That's good enough to move the chains for the Chiefs. First down.
So 2 quick first downs in a row for Sequoyah. And Max, they haven't even been across their 50-yard line this game.
Yeah.
They were close. They were set up a couple yards behind
Yeah.
it, but then they had that penalty, so they haven't even known what it felt like to be on Creekview's side of the field. So 1st and 10 for Sequoyah. Martin hands that one off to Jurgensen, who's swallowed up immediately. Great point, Diane, but we're losing right now. Bring it up when we're winning.
Blaze stepped at the line. Bring up second down.
Give it to us when we're winning.
That brings up a 2nd and 10 for Sequoyah. 5:45 left to go in this third quarter. It's been a quiet second half so far.
Got Conti out to receive on the near side of the field.
And Sequoyah set up on the opposite side. Martin is under center. He keeps that one, but then hands it off over to Hancock, who runs up that left side. He's going to get the first down and a few more, and he's tackled by number 23, Taylor Coxyoung, by Creekview. So 3 first downs in a row. Sequoyah's offense starting to feel it.
Did you see that speed? Was that just me?
No, I saw that too.
I mean, Jackson Hancock was shot out of a cannon from the backfield. I thought Colby Martin was going to keep it there, but made the right decision and handed it off to Hancock.
And for the first time today, Sequoyah is on Creekview's side of the field. So 1st and 10 at Creekview's 48-yard line. And Martin hands that one off, but no progress is made. In fact, it's going to be a loss.
Number 48, Asante Shavanda. Gets right back to the line. It'll be second down for the Chiefs.
2nd and 10. As you were saying earlier, Will, this is their first taste of beyond the 50.
Let's see if it gives them some inspiration to go all the way to the house. 4:51 left to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 for Sequoyah. Martin has a receiving option to his left. He looks to them, but throws it too soon. I don't know if the play call got mixed up there, but Conti was well past the ball before it went to where he was.
I mean, yeah, that could have been a lot of things. I mean, Martin might have been expecting a little curl route right there and did not get it. Could have been a tip to the line. We just didn't see it. But overall, just not connecting right now with Conti. Besides that one great grab by Conti in that first half. That was astonishing.
The one-handed grab. I don't know if we
Yeah.
mentioned that. Not only was it a catch, but it was a nice one-handed catch for Conti, who was able to come up with a few more yards after the catch. So 3rd and 10, a big third down for Sequoyah. Their first one inside Creekview's territory, and Martin gets that one, rolls out, hands it off to Jurgensen, who's swallowed up before he can go anywhere. So a loss of 3 yards.
I mean, you have to give it up to this Creekview defense. They're budging a little bit, but they're in no way folding.
Yeah, they really have done a phenomenal job of sticking firm. I mean, considering that's the first time Sequoyah's been on Creekview's side of the field, and it's the third quarter with 2/3 of it already gone. Creekview's defense has definitely been holding up here tonight. So Cruz back to punt.
That one was close to being tipped.
He gets it off. It's another favorable bounce. Cruz really has been on point with his kicks tonight.
Great punts. I mean, I said it in the first half, but both of these punters have been having a fantastic night.
Yeah, and the first couple weren't great, but that was because he was punting from the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
But after that, then he got one with a very favorable bounce that went to the 2-yard line, really.
I mean, with that field position, the best you can do is try to cater to the 50. I mean, if he were like at the 30, he would have flipped the field. I mean, he's doing great as a punter.
3:57 left to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Creekview. They're set up at their own 6-yard line.
Had a 3-and-out last drive.
Guest is set up in the pocket. He has 3 receivers to his left, none to his right. And he takes that one himself. He runs up that left side, breaks a tackle before he's brought down by Brett and Darling. They'll still give him 7 yards on the play. So a productive run from the quarterback. The sophomore quarterback, Max, we haven't really mentioned how both of these quarterbacks are so young. Sequoyah's got a freshman starting quarterback, and Creekview has a sophomore quarterback. So not only do these coaches and teams have a history, but these quarterbacks could kind of develop a little bit of a rivalry themselves.
Yeah, I mean, barring any setbacks, these two could be seeing each other for the next 2 years.
And Guest hands that one off. Or no, keeps it himself.
Man, these fakes by Guest have been getting us a couple times tonight, and I mean, they've been getting the Sequoyah defense a couple times too. 3rd down. 3rd down and 2. Inside the 15.
So gain of 1 on the last play. 2:54 left to go in the third quarter. Still scoreless here in the second. Grizzlies on top 3-0.
It's 3rd down. Let's get loud, Chief hands.
Austin Guest sets up. No receivers to either side. He's in the pocket. He hands that one off to Hubert, who runs up the middle, and he's going to get 1st down and much more.
Man, Hubert is, if we haven't said it already tonight, he is a little bit hard to tackle. The beast, 6'3", 230 coming up the middle.
I mean, he ran up the middle where everyone was, but there were still 3 or 4 guys on him that he just couldn't get past. So 2 minutes and counting left to go in the third quarter. Guest hands that one off to Hubert once more, who tries that left side.
He gets dropped after about 3.
Tackle made by number 51, Walker Beck. Bring up 2nd down.
Still only 3-0. A touchdown from either team could, in Creekview's case, increase the lead to, I guess what you would say is a pretty good amount considering how much scoring there's been.
Yeah.
But a touchdown from Sequoyah
Take the lead.
would put them ahead by twice what Creekview has.
Yeah. I mean, no passes on this drive for Creekview right now.
Still a game that one play could make the difference in. 2nd and 7 for Creekview now, and Guest keeps that one.
Another 3rd down here.
Gets a couple more yards on the play. So 3rd and 5 now for Creekview with 1:05 left to go in the third quarter. Creekview converted on their last 3rd down when they needed it. Hubert had a big run up the middle. That got him 10+ yards.
They got Hubert out to receive on the far side of the field.
Yeah, Guest has 5 receivers. No running back options, and Stanley gets that one, but he's tackled. They will give him the 1st down, though, so nice play call there from Coach Williams.
Yeah, honestly, a great play call. He knew how many receivers he had out there. That would have caused a distraction for all the secondary. Got him a little bit confused. And one of the receivers had to be open for a 1st down.
Another 1st and 10 for Creekview. They're slowly but surely moving up the field.
Slowly's
with
right.
8 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Guest gets the snap. This will be the last play of the quarter. as time runs out.
Another big run by Huber to end the half. Pardon me, end the quarter.
There's a reason he averages 81 yards a game in rushing. He's pretty much the only name we've called when it comes to rushing on the Creekview side of the ball.
And into the fourth quarter we go. We've seen a little bit more offense from Sequoyah. That we saw a little bit more that third quarter. We saw a couple more first downs, a drive going. I mean, they were into the Creekview 50 for a little bit. They could use that momentum for the next drive, but right now they need to focus on stopping Creekview because Huber and the Grizzlies are driving.
So the last 12 minutes on the clock for the game. Still Creekview 3, Sequoyah 0. There has not been a score in the second half yet, and no score really since, I believe it was the beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah.
And Sequoyah's offense has started to get some good looks, but they haven't put anything together enough. I mean, they've only been in the Creekview side of the field one time, and that was this quarter, so we'll look to see what they can do with their next drive. But for now, Sequoyah's defense is tasked with stopping the Creekview offense that has been slowly moving up the field. A 2nd and 3 for Creekview. And that one's handed off, but Time Wars makes a quick tackle, so no gain of yards for Creekview.
I mean, Superman has his kryptonite, and it seems like Isaac Hubert has his Time Wars. Because whenever Time Wars gets a hand on Hubert, Hubert's a big guy, but Time Wars matches up really well and can most of the time put him down.
Yeah, we talked about how well they were matched up when it size and height-wise, but yeah, pretty much most of the tackles that have come on Hubert have been from Moore's.
Yeah, or at least like group tackles have had Moore in him. Moore has been maybe solo tackled him a couple of times, but yeah, a big key player on that line. They're going to need him on this third down.
So 3rd and 4 for Creekview, 11-12 left to go. Guest fires, but that one falls incomplete. Another incomplete pass for Guest. He really has not been connecting with his receivers tonight.
Intended for sophomore Nick Vaccaro.
So it brings up a 4th down for Creekview.
So 4th down for the Grizzlies. Sending the punt team out. There is no punter. The Grizzlies have their hands up looking for a punter. And here he comes onto the field. And they would have gotten a delayed game, so they call timeout, man. In a game like this.
Big miscommunication from Creekview there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a one-score game. A timeout like that could really be helpful in the long run, and using that timeout just for miscommunication on a punt, that could easily cost them in a 3-point game.
Yeah, really, I mean, a one-play game if Creekview or Sequoyah gets a big passing play or a big run from one of their many rushers that either team has.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier how Creekview and Sequoyah combined have 3 of the top 5 rushers in the region, 2 of those belonging to Creekview, one of them being their quarterback. And we've seen him run a lot more in the second half than we did the first half, and he's been using those legs as more of a threat, not just to improvise when he has to, but also when he is the play and he has to find the gaps himself. So 4th and 4 for Creekview. But the punt unit is out. Jackson Hancock is back to return for Sequoyah. Creekview does have a punter on the field now.
Good sign, good sign.
And the punt is off. Hancock is under it, motions for the fair catch, and he makes it. So Sequoyah looking to get their offense going. They had some positive signs in their last drive. They just weren't able to put it completely together.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, they had a couple first downs. They hadn't gotten more than one first down, I believe, on the drive since then. They have momentum. Can they keep it up and finally get on the board?
1st and 10 for Sequoyah. 11:03 left to go in the game.
And I mean, it's now or never. I mean, they need to start getting something going. It's the 4th quarter with 11 minutes left.
Yeah, because if Sequoyah scores a touchdown or ties it up with a field goal, that's going to motivate Creekview to get going and get on their offensive horse and try and put some more points on the board. So Martin is under center. He gets the snap, rolls out to his left, and he almost finds Hancock. It just fell short a little bit. So neither quarterback has been able to connect with their receivers super well. We saw on the last drive, Martin tried getting to Conti, but it just wasn't even close. So 2nd and 10 for Sequoyah after the incomplete pass to Hancock. Or intended for Hancock, I should say. So Martin is in the pocket. He has Massey to his left. He hands that one off. Looks like that's Eli Jurgensen. No, that's Javon Salazar, excuse me.
That's a good pickup there. 6 yards. A much more manageable 3rd and 4 on a huge set of downs right here.
10:39 left to go in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 5 left to go for Sequoyah to get their first down. And Max, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they've only gotten 1 third down conversion this half.
Yeah, that's right.
So this would be a big one if they can manage it. As Sequoyah sets up with Conti to the left, Creekview student section starting to cheer, feeling the momentum and the energy.
Sequoyah calls a timeout. So I believe they're both even at 2 now. And Teeter understands this is a big 3rd down. This is a big drive overall. I mean, Creekview showing promising signs on offense. They have been all game. And Sequoyah showed promising signs last drive. They know they need to get something going this drive to have a possibility of scoring.
Yeah, because Creekview, I mean, and Sequoyah both really, when they have the possession of the ball on the offense, they really take the time off the clock.
Yeah.
There hasn't been, especially I remember in that 1st quarter, there was only a couple drives for each team because they were both taking so much time off the clock. So if Sequoyah wants to score, they got to do it sooner rather than later to put pressure on Creekview. Even with a tie, that'd put pressure on them, but a win would certainly, or a touchdown would be good as well. So 3rd and 4 for Sequoyah. Martin's in the pocket. He throws that one off to Hancock. Hancock tries to make a move on his left, but he's brought back by a couple Creekview defenders for a huge loss.
I believe he's going to be marked for forward progress at about the line of scrimmage, but still, Creekview was going after Hancock even after the whistles were blown. Pardon me.
Fourth and 4 for Sequoyah. Cruz is out to punt. Creekview has a couple receivers back. And the catch is made by Cole Sackman.
The Chiefs are 1 for 8 on 3rd down conversions this half, as they hand the ball right back to Creekview.
9:25 left to go in the game. Still no score since early in that 2nd quarter. Only 3-0. Defensive battle here tonight in this rivalry matchup between the Creekview Grizzlies and the Sequoyah Chiefs, as Creekview sets up with a 1st and 10. Guest has 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, but he hands that one off instead to Hubert.
And that's sophomore Taiwo Ogundele with a big tackle on Hubert. Taiwo Ogundele is a unit in that linebacker position. Almost had that pick in the 1st half, I believe, too. Or maybe 2nd half, but he almost had that pick earlier in the game. So 2nd and 7.
8:56 left to go in the fourth quarter.
3 receivers out for Guest. Haven't had much success in the passing attack this game.
Guest is set up in the pocket, and he rolls out to his right. He's looking towards his right. Taiwo Ogundele is tracking him down, and he has to throw that one out of bounds.
I saw the speed of Ogundele.
Yeah,
right there.
Taiwo Ogundele had his number there. He was just waiting for him to throw it or do something with it.
He was booking it.
So nice job by him to break up whatever play Creekview was attempting to try there. So now 3rd and 7 for Creekview. .8:35 left to go in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 7 for Creekview.
It's 3rd down. Let's get loud, G-Man.
Another timeout by Creekview.
Timeout, Creekview.
With 8:35 left in this 4th, Creekview only has 1 timeout left.
Yeah, they had to use that other one because they weren't sure if
Where their punter
they
was.
didn't. Yeah, they didn't have a punter on the field when they were getting ready to punt, so they had to use it so they didn't get a delay of game penalty.
Which is understandable, but I mean, still could hurt them in the long run. I mean, the Chiefs' offense is still trying to get its groove going, and it doesn't have much time to do so, but still, I mean, a score could easily turn this game around.
And Sequoyah has used one of their timeouts, so they still have a couple left, but Grizzlies down to their last one with 8.5 minutes left to go. They are still on top, 3-0. Just that lone field goal from Creekview has been the only scoring in this matchup. And Max, you mentioned how there's a 3-way tie right now in the region between Creekview, Sequoyah, and River Ridge. And Creekview last week lost to River Ridge.
So, I mean, that puts Sequoyah on top, I believe, right now.
2 weeks ago, Sequoyah beat River Ridge.
Yeah.
So if they can put some points on the board here and beat Creekview, that would certainly make a statement, what most people would consider their 2 biggest rivals in the region. So if they could beat both of them, that would make a statement, and they'd move ahead in the region rankings.
Yeah, they would get their sole second position.
They would move to 3-0 or 3-1 in the region.
Yeah. Big 3rd down here.
As Guest gets that one, he looks toward his left for a receiver, and he throws that one, and it's not there for anybody. Hancock dives in an attempt to intercept it, but it wasn't even close to him. So big overthrow by the sophomore quarterback will give the ball or turn the ball back over to Sequoyah.
Yeah, he just hasn't been able to connect with any of his teammates tonight. That was intended for Lee Brock, but senior Camden Luss was kind of open on that crossing route across the middle of the field. It was more than good enough for a 1st down. Guest just missed him right there. And that forces the punt.
Hancock back to receive as usual for Sequoyah.
Another opportunity for Sequoyah after this.
Still a good amount of time left to go in the 4th quarter. Creekview wasn't able to do much, and Ty Moores blocks that punt. Big block punt from Ty Moores there.
MVP of the game thus far. Blocking Huber up the middle. And sensational pass rusher. Ty Moores blocks the punt, gives the Chiefs their best field position of the night.
Max, that could be the defensive, offensive spark Sequoyah needs to get into this game. That was huge.
And they're already in Daniel Cruz's field goal range, just from that block punt.
That's a good point.
Maybe a couple more yards.
Yeah, if they can get a touchdown at the very least, yeah, get it close for Daniel Cruz. He's been showing off his leg strength with all the punts tonight. Give him a chance at a field goal, tie this one up, make it a game.
That has to give the offense some motivation. Let's see it.
And Martin's under center. He hands that one off to Chimanda. Chimanda tries that right side, and he's brought down by Raymond Simpson.
Gain of 5 on that run. Good.
So that fires up the Sequoyah crowd. They're all of a sudden in it, as Sequoyah's closer than they've been all game to bringing it all the way to the house.
Good running all game by Chimanda. Seen a lot of runs to him tonight. Not much for Tyler Bell. A decent amount for Hancock. Interesting spread of the ball for these running backs.
7:52 left to go. 2nd and 5 for Sequoyah. Chimanda behind as a running option. No receivers for Martin. He's under center. And he does hand that one off to Chimanda, who tries that right side. Gets up the middle a little bit. And he breaks the tackle before he's brought down.
The 1st down, Sequoyah.
1st down, Sequoyah. So big play from Chimanda. 2 nice running plays in a row.
Into the red zone. The atmosphere is getting a little bit more excited, pardon me.
We're starting to hear the cowbells and some more cheers from these fans as they're all of a sudden in it.
That's right.
But now 7-16, and now the Creekview student section's firing back. 1st and 10 for Sequoyah. Martin under center. No receiving options. He hands it off to Chimanda once more. And this time he's brought down before he can get anywhere too far.
Yeah, right at the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10. I would say they're well into Cruz's field goal range here. So now they're just looking to get closer and try to get closer to that end zone.
Yeah, at the very least, they can tie it, which is good, but you know how much they'd love to get on top right here.
I mean, we talked about it earlier. These coaches have been playing for 14 years against each other. They aren't going to call plays that are going to be conservative. They have a rivalry. They want to win this ball game.
Yeah, the 15th all-time meeting between these teams. Sequoyah hasn't won in 5 years. Martin rolls out to his left and then has to scramble to his right. He runs up that right side, and he finds a gap. Touchdown, Chiefs!
Insane blocking on that scramble.
What a run by Kobe Martin.
I just want to point out, I wish we had instant replay. MVP, that was an insane run by Kobe Martin, by the way. But MVP of the game is Ty Moores. That block right there was insane. He pancaked the guy, had nowhere to go, no holding, no flag, insane skill, fundamental skill by Ty Moores. There is a hurt Chief down on the field. Some trainers at the player. We cannot identify him right now.
And that was just a fantastic job by Kobe Martin. It looked like, I mean, he originally rolled out to his left, so it looks like he was going to try a receiver there. Then he was pressured by some Creekview Grizzlies, so then he ran out to his right, just found a couple gaps, and was able to dive ahead for the touchdown. So huge play from Sequoyah. The first score in this half, and it puts Sequoyah up 6-3 pending the extra point.
That is center Dimitri Morris down and having him be helped off the field. Their starting center. Hopefully he is okay. Not a good sign for the Chiefs. He's a great center. Great teammate that the Chiefs are very fortunate to have. Hopefully he is A-okay.
.6:22 left to go in the fourth quarter. Max, still plenty of time. Creekview can work quickly if they want to. So while Sequoyah has put a touchdown on the board, they're not out of the woods yet, as Daniel Cruz puts that one easily through the uprights. So your first score in a while, score update, Sequoyah 7, Creekview 3. And Max, I mean, can we just talk about how big that Ty Moore's blocked punt was?
I mean, Ty Moore's, that whole section of time right there, the block punt, the blocking up front. I mean, Ty Moores is showing and proving how big of a player he is overall for this Chiefs team on defense, special teams, and blocking on offense. I mean, a total three-way player. Him and Hancock are dangerous, and Ty Moores has proven tonight why he is a huge star. So the Grizzlies will get another chance on offense. Forced a punt on the last drive. We know where that led. Chiefs are up now 7-3. They do have 6:22 left in this fourth.
Yeah, Max, as I said, Sequoyah actually worked pretty quickly. They got that touchdown in just a couple minutes. So Creekview's still got some time to work with here. And Max, I mean, you can tell how bad these Sequoyah students want it. Sequoyah hasn't won since 2017.
I mean, you can tell how bad the players want it.
Oh, absolutely. And that really silenced the Creekview student section, which I gotta say has been pretty loud and pretty good all night. But Sequoyah fans, Sequoyah students back in the game.
So we'll see Austin Guest and Hubert and the Grizzlies come out again. The passing game has not been their forte this game. The secondary coverage has been really, honestly, the star of the show for the passing game for Creekview. And Ty Moores, of course, I don't think we need to say anything more about him. He's probably going to make even more big plays, so we'll have to talk about him.
He's on the field right now, so keep your eye on him, Max. 1st and 10 for Creekview. Guest set up in the pocket. He hands that one off to Hubert. Hubert finds that left side, rumbles ahead for a few yards.
Good tackle by Cameron Walker there.
As well as Taiwo Ogundale. Chipping in on the tackle there. So 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Score is Sequoyah 7, Grizzlies 3. First score update we've had since the first half.
Yeah, and the clock is now going past just under 6 minutes. So
2nd and 4 for Creekview. Guest is set up in the pocket. He's got 2 receivers to his left, none to his right. And he hands that one off to Hubert, who is brought down before he can go anywhere.
And these rushes are not doing as much as they were in that third quarter and first half. The Chiefs have kind of figured something out here. A big third down for Creekview. They don't want to give the ball right back to the Sequoyah offense.
Yeah, 3rd and 4 for Creekview, and this would be a huge stop for Sequoyah if they can do it. With 5:05 left to go in the game. Sequoyah 7, Creekview 3. 3rd and 4 for Creekview. Guest has 3 receivers to his left, but he keeps it instead. He runs up the middle, and he's tackled, but I believe they're going to give him the first down.
They will.
It looks like he got just 1 yard past it. So a first down for Creekview. Gets them knocking on the door of the Sequoyah side of the field as the Creekview student section trying to cheer on their team, trying to get them back in it.
And Creekview 3 for 6 on third down conversions in the second half. So 50% still have not gotten into the Sequoyah side of the field very far this second half.
4:25 left to go. Guest hands that one off to Hubert, and Hubert's brought down by Max.
I mean, who else are we going to call on that D-line? We have some stars, but Ty Moores is shining the brightest tonight. I mean, what other name are we going to call for running besides Isaac Hubert? Hubert and Moores, names of the night. And they're proving why.
4 minutes and counting left to go for Creekview. 2nd and 7 for them. They're just outside the Sequoyah half. Guest is set up in the pocket, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He hands that one off to Hubert once again, and Hubert is met by a couple Chiefs. Still gets a gain of yardage, though.
And I was trying to think in that first half, who does Hubert remind me of? His stature reminds me a little bit of Frank Gore, but he's much taller. But still, the way he runs the ball reminds me so much of Derrick Henry. He's very slow, he's very calculated in how he runs up the middle. And the way he still pushes after contact, pushes down defenders. Very Derrick Henry-esque type running by Hubert.
So 3rd and 2. Guest hands it off to Hubert. Hubert rumbles ahead. He will get the first down. So another first down for Creekview, moves the chains. 3 minutes, 5 seconds left to go. It's getting down to crunch time. Sequoyah defense needs to put up a big stop if they want to hand it back to their offense to run the clock out. First and 10 for Creekview. They are now inside Sequoyah territory. 2:44 left to go. Sequoyah 7, Creekview 3. Guest gets the handoff. He hands that one off to Hubert. Hubert rumbles ahead, drags Cameron Walker on the ground. Another first down. 2:33 now left to go. Creekview's moving quickly. Sequoyah is not able to come up with an answer, but they're giving it to Hubert every time. Yeah. It's been the same play every single time.
And I mean, you would expect Hubert to get tired after run after run. I think he almost got every single run this game. But still, he is just firing at all cylinders.
1st and 10. Once again, handoff to Hubert. Sequoyah still lets him get a gain of a few yards. 2 minutes, 6 seconds left to go. 2nd and 5 for Creekview. They're moving quickly, and it's the same play every time. Hubert's getting the ball. Sequoyah's not able to find an option. $1:48 left to go. 2nd and 5. Creekview sets up. Guest is in the pocket. And I believe there's a flag on the play.
Offsides. Wow, that is an offside on Sequoyah. And that's going to be, I think that's enough for a first down. I think it was 2nd and 5. That is a huge penalty. First down, and they're at the 23 of Sequoyah with 1:40 left, down by 4.
A first down given up on penalties, 1:40 left to go in this game. After Creekview scored an early field goal in that second quarter, we went scoreless in the entire second half until Sequoyah just recently scored a touchdown. Colby Martin rushing it ahead, but now Creekview's been moving quickly, getting first down after first down with 1:20 left to go and counting. Guest gets the snap, and he's keeping it this time. He fires over to his right, and it's out of bounds. So incomplete pass once again. Cameron Walker was there as a corner, but it wasn't even close to either of them. That pass was well out of bounds. So 1:11. The clock is stopped there, 2nd and 10.
I haven't seen much of really Joseph this game. I think Cameron Walker has kind of taken his place in the secondary. Maybe he's injured. I don't see him on the sideline. But nonetheless, Cameron Walker has taken a big job in the secondary, and he's doing a great job at it.
2nd and 10, the Sequoyah student section running down the far side, trying to cheer on their Sequoyah defense, get one last stop here, 1:11 left to go, 2nd and 10. Guest hands that one off to Hubert. Brenton Darling is there, and he tackles him out of bounds. Rowan Steele and Brenton Darling. There is still a gain of about 2 yards. 48 seconds left and counting. Sequoyah's waited a long time to say they have beat Creekview. It's been about 5 years. 3rd and 8 left to go. Sequoyah on top, 7-3. Guest keeps that one, but looks like they'll call a timeout.
Timeout Sequoyah.
So clock stopped at 32 seconds.
So yeah, 32 seconds left. 3rd down and 7 from the 20.
The entire Sequoyah student section is lined up on the fence at the very bottom. Again, it's been since 2017 since Sequoyah has beat Creekview. All time they're 3-11. It would feel very good to get a win here, especially considering where we're at with the region standings.
Definitely.
That would put them in 2nd place alone. River Ridge does not have a game this week. They are playing Rome next week, so that's a big game for them as well. The 2 best teams in the region record-wise, Rome is 6-1, River Ridge is 5-2 right now.
And still the student sections are still loud. That shows how intense this rivalry is. I mean, Creekview brought, I don't know, like 200 kids at least.
Yeah, and they've all been here. No one has left. No one has left the stadium. 34 seconds left to go. Sequoyah 7, Creekview 3. 3rd and 8. Creekview sets up. Guest is in the pocket. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. And he gets the snap. He hands it off to Hubert. Or no, it's a fake handoff. And up the right side is Stanley, but there is a flag on the play.
There is.
Or no, that's Hayden Reyes, excuse me. So it was a fake handoff to Hubert, and then Reyes came across that right side. But there is a flag on the play. Brady Curl down on the field trying to hype up all the fans.
So yeah, I believe that was a false start call. They kind of let the play go a little bit too.
A little bit of a late false start call, but
yeah.
Either way, Sequoyah's going to be happy with that one. 26 seconds left to go. Sequoyah still on top, 7-3.
And you can kind of tell that Coach Trevor Williams is a little bit unhappy with that late false start call.
3rd and 13 for Creekview. Guest sets up in the pocket. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He's got Hubert right next to him. And he gets the snap. He rolls back. He's looking to that left, and then he looks to that right side. And it's an interception! Brenton Darling with the interception. He goes down on a knee. 18 seconds left to go. Sequoyah turnover.
Unbelievable. The Chiefs are 17 seconds away from their first win against Creekview in 4 years. Pardon me, 5 years.
Wow, what a play by Brett and Darling.
Beautifully guarded. That was Lucas Huber on that route. You could tell from his size, just by his size, that was Lucas Huber. Guarded by Cameron Walker. Who else in that secondary? He's taken a huge role in that secondary this game. Done a great job on his guarding. And there was no room for that pass to fit in there. Guess was trying. He was trying to connect with his receivers the whole game. But Darling was there for the pick.
17 seconds left to go. Sequoyah on top, 7-3, 1st and 10. And Kobe Martin will take a knee. Let the clock wind down a little bit.
So Creekview does use their timeout.
And assuming the Chiefs can hold on to the lead here, this will be the 4th win with Colby Martin at the helm of Sequoyah. All 4 games he has started, they have won, pending the last 14 seconds of this one. And we do want to give you just the rest of the schedule for Sequoyah. Next week they have a bye week. 2 weeks they are away at Allatoona. That's another region match. And then in 3 weeks is the final home game for the season. Hopefully we will see some Chiefs playoff football. It's looking good right now. We'll see them play Woodstock, who is 0-7 right now. So 14 seconds left to go. And they'll get the snap, and Colby Martin will take a knee once more.
Unbelievable what just happened in Skip Pope.
And they will let time run out. So for the first time in 5 years, Sequoyah beats Creekview with a final score of 7-3, the lowest scoring game in the history of this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, these seniors have been here for, this is their 4th year now, obviously.
Yeah, me too. This is the first time Sequoyah has beat Creekview in the 4 years that I've been here. And again, in 5 years, we got shut out 2 years ago, lost by 24 again last year. And I mean, to beat them at home, to beat them when we're having a season that's been better than we've had in quite a few years.
Yeah.
I mean, 2018, the last time that we beat them was when we went to the region championship.
Yeah.
So if that's a sign of things to come as the students storm the field, certainly a great game.
2nd week in a row, home game.
Creekview scored their field goal in that early in that 2nd quarter. Sequoyah didn't. Neither team scored again. Sequoyah scored a touchdown in that 4th quarter. Colby Martin with a phenomenal touchdown run, improvising on the play, just diving ahead for that. And the Sequoyah student section is going wild.
I mean, I think we can all agree the Chiefs overall had a great game on the defense. The offense finally got it going. Great to see in that 2nd half. But overall, MVP of the game has to go to Ty Moores.
Absolutely.
His play, the blocked punt, biggest play of the game. Gave the Chiefs their best field position. And that block to give Colby Martin the route for that touchdown, that won the game for him. And same play on the defensive line by everyone on the line, including Walker Beck was there, Carter Leggetti. Great defense by the Chiefs.
Yeah, player of the game, certainly Ty Moores. That block punt really gave the Chiefs the momentum they needed. Play of the game, Colby Martin.
Yeah.
That touchdown run, just
very unexpected.
Thinking on his feet like that. I mean, it's his freshman season. That's got to be easily a highlight play for him.
Easily. Freshman year. Has to be a rush of emotions this kid is feeling.
And so with that final score of 7-3, Creekview moves to 3-5 on the season, 2-2 in region play. Sequoyah moves to 4-4, so they're back up to 500. But more importantly, they're 3-1 in region play, so they're now sole second in region, just second to Rome. And that means River Ridge is 3rd place in the region, and Creekview falls to 4th place. So the tie has been broken.
And Sequoyah is sitting very, very calmly and comfortably at 2nd.
Yes, Allatoona and Woodstock are their last 2 matches. Woodstock right now is 0-7. Allatoona, I believe, is 2-5.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're easy matches. We don't want to look past any opponent for sure, but they've definitely gotten the harder teams out of the way, obviously with Rome playing last week and River Ridge and Creekview games both being done. But still, a phenomenal game from both sides. I mean, in a game where really the offense wasn't really a huge factor. It was a defensive battle, certainly. But, I mean, the two offensive plays we did see ended up being really the only 2 scoring plays we saw. And, I mean, that's Kobe Martin touchdown really just put the life back in the stadium.
Yeah. And, I mean, personally, if you told me that our Chiefs would have an exceptional defense and an offense that is rolling, in the beginning of the season, we had no idea what was to come. I personally was really interested to see how the quarterback position was going to work out. I was interested to see how our defense worked out. But our defense has shown me that they are one of the top ones in the region. And they're proving that we deserve this second place spot in the region. And I'm very impressed with the Chiefs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've said it many times before in the past couple of years. Sequoiah's looked really good. They've just fell short, very short, even by just losing by a point or 2. But I think Sequoyah, this is the season where they've really been putting it together.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they're looking good. I think there's good things still to come. We still have a couple more games. So the next time we will see you will be in 3 weeks when we play Woodstock for the final regular season and final home game for the season, a bye week next week, and then away at Allatoona the week after that. So with your final score 7-3, Sequoyah beating Creekview for the first time in 5 years. This is Will Hogendijk and Max Swain saying good night and signing off.